Hello, and welcome to this interview. My name is Wendy Byford. I'm the co-founder and president of Your Entity Solution and the founder of the Yes Roundtable, where we take women from startup through the process of setting up their infrastructure so they're ready to scale. I have as my special guest today someone really, really, really exciting, Nina Perez. Nina is known as the Charisma Calibrator, and she is an international best-selling author, a TEDx speaker, and founder of Connect to Thrive. She's featured in Forbes Women, Female Entrepreneurs Magazine, and ABC's In the Spotlight. She empowers entrepreneurs to move from self-doubt and imposter syndrome to embodied confidence, social courage, and charisma so they can turn conversations into opportunities and connect more powerfully in business and in life. So welcome, Nina. I'm very excited to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be here. And, every time I hear that intro, I blush a little bit on the inside because I'm still that shy girl on the inside, but I have learned to connect with people and be able to, embrace all of the wonderful things that have happened because of charisma.
Well, Nina, tell me, you are the Charisma Calibrator. Explain to people what that really is, because when I first heard that, I'm like, what?
Yes. So there's a myth out there that to be charismatic, you need to be extroverted or you need to be a social butterfly. And my belief is that everybody is charismatic. You just need to know how to calibrate your own charisma, your own flavor, how to bring out your warmth, how to bring out your competence, your level of, comfort in yourself and expertise. And sometimes that is hard for entrepreneurs, especially if we're starting out. As you know, you help a lot of startups. As we're starting out, sometimes that's really hard to speak with confidence and competence, and also to share with people your values and your reasons why, your mission. Sometimes it gets difficult to do that. And so I teach people to calibrate that with confidence and with their charisma.
Oh my goodness, that sounds wonderful. So it sounds like the biggest problem that you solve is helping women to get out of their own way so their natural brilliance can shine.
Yes, because there's always so many blocks on top of who we are, right? So we need to start removing these. But also, one of my biggest passions is I call it raising the floor of your confidence, right? And learning how to self-regulate your confidence so that it's always available to you. And it's not something that you have to build up or hype up. It's like you're raising slowly day by day and nurturing your confidence. And so when an opportunity comes, you are able to say yes naturally, because you understand who you are, the value you provide, and what you do for people.
Oh my gosh, that must bleed over into so many areas for people.
Totally. I mean, this applies everywhere. And if you're dating life, social life, relationships, parenting, business, negotiations, sales. I just had a client who went through a program that I have, and he was like, I have to get my whole team through this. This is the founder, because he didn't realize how much it would change how he felt, how others saw him, and how it impacted sales.
Wow. So tell me about some women that you've worked with and kind of what they've been struggling with and what you've been able to help them with.
Yes. So I find that when we look at charisma, there's two ingredients that you should know about, which is warmth, and that is showing people that you care, that you're passionate, your heart, your values, and competence, which is them being able to see you as reliable, comfortable, confident, decisive, like you are the person to call, you're the expert. And so women fall more on their calibrated high on warmth. So people like them and they think that's great, what a sweetheart, what a great person, but they calibrate low on competence. So they're not quite sure they would hire them, or they're not quite sure that they're capable, even though they are. It's just that they don't know how to communicate this. So I work with a lot of women on actually getting themselves able to speak about their wonderfulness, about their accolades, their accomplishments, how they do things, so that others can perceive them as reliable, trustworthy, competent, and all the things that we need to make the decision to hire someone or to, invest in that business.
That's got to be huge, because especially for women business owners,
Yep.
if they don't come across as competent, then who's going to hire them for anything?
Exactly. And there's so many beautiful hidden gems in the world of people who are experts, but nobody knows that about them or sees them as that from their first impression or from their lasting impressions, because we make lasting impressions when we have great conversations. And sometimes we miss those opportunities because we don't know how to navigate those conversations in a way that highlights both our warmth and our competence.
You know, it kind of reminds me of a conversation that I was having with somebody a little while ago, where we were talking about the fact that so many women don't know how to hold their space in a room,
Yeah.
especially if there are men in the room. And so
Yeah.
when they come in, you know, they're a little bit more timid. They're kind of looking around to see whether or not they should even be there, you know, which is sad because they should come in owning that space for whatever it is that they're bringing to the party, and it's really sad to see that they don't feel that way.
Right. And it's an internal process. I mean, a lot of how others see us is how we see ourselves. So I do a lot of work on making sure you have a great relationship with yourself, that you can connect with yourself in different ways on a daily basis. And actually, I call it on a micro. I call it doing micro rituals of radiance. So when you go out, you radiate this confidence naturally. You don't have to be or fake it or do anything like that. Fake it till you make it. None of that is valid, I believe. You got to radiate who you really are. And so when you have these micro rituals of radiance where you do them every day, scattered through the day, it builds and boosts your confidence. You are able to feel that internal worthiness and that internal feeling of, I can do this. And then you walk into a room and people notice that even before you say a word, people can sense with your body language, with your energy, who and
Right.
what you are all about. And then when you speak, great, that makes it even better.
You know, someone had once told me that when you walk into a room, you should walk in as if you had been sent there by God. And that always struck me as oh my goodness, does that mean that I have to have flames coming out or whatever? That just seems so overwhelming. But when you talk about women's natural radiance, natural warmth, that seems to make so much more sense.
And you can be playful with this. Like sometimes I'll say to people, walk in with curiosity as if the room, there is somebody there that's going to change the course of your life. How would you walk in if there's going to be somebody that you're going to meet, like that's going to change your life? You would walk with a certain air of curiosity and expectation and wonder, right? But you can also play around with like, what if you were a very relaxed woman and CEO, and then you feel like you got everything going on? How would you walk into that room? You would probably scan for other relaxed CEOs that you want to speak to. There would be a certain air of comfort and relaxation. And so you can play around with this. And it's really fun to do with places that nobody has met you before. And even in Zoom rooms, you know, how do you join, how you say hi, how you carry yourself, play around with different energies.
Right. This is actually a fascinating conversation, and we could go on forever, but we have a limited amount of time. So, how did you get into this, Nina? It is such a unique area.
Well, really quickly, I used to own a dance studio. I still do own the dance studio, and I learned how to dance, and that really helped me get out of my shell. But when I started learning how to teach dance and having to connect with all different personality types, I delved deeply into learning how to teach, learning how to communicate, how to connect with people. And so 25 years of teaching over 10,000 students, lots of different venues where there was like 100 people, 1,000 people, has helped me to really connect with what connection is all about and how do you communicate non-verbally and verbally with people. And I learned a lot of it through the dance, you know, learning how to dance. That's a lot of nonverbal. But
Right.
also as I started teaching, it really gave me like an accelerated version of communicating with a lot of different types of people. And now I translate that into helping business owners do better on social media, networking in person. Yeah.
You know, it sounds like you can really change people's lives with what you do. So, what is it that you like best about what you do?
Oh, that's such a tough question, but it's a good one. I like to see people flourish. And so one of the things that I do in all my programs is hyper accountability. So my clients will talk to me every single day as they go through this process, because sometimes you know about something, like people know don't cross your arms, but actually doing something on a daily basis and when it matters, it becomes hard. We forget, or we start getting overtaken by a nervous system when we feel unsafe and we don't do the thing. And so I like giving super accountability. And in that accountability, where I'm talking daily with my clients, I really get to know them. I really get to see them flourish. And a lot of them have said, this has changed my life. One client said, this is like a second birth. Another client was like, I have to bring my kids to go do this course with us. And so I'm like, yes, bring her on the next 90-day course. And that for me, it's so rewarding to know that people are really feeling different and in a natural, gradual way. So it's not fake it till you make it, right? It's like you are evolving slowly and it becomes the new you, the natural you.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to put up Nina's information. So for those of you who would like to see what Nina's courses are about and whether or not you would like to join them, this is her information, her email address and her phone number. So scribble that down. It is really important that that if this is something that you think that you need or something that you would like to do, just have a conversation and see whether or not this is a course that you would like to take. Nina has obviously been excellent at what she does. She has lots and lots of accolades, and it's also a joy speaking with her. You can see her warmth just from her lovely smile on the interview. So take down her information. It's up there, and I'm just going to pause for a moment in case people want to get out their cameras and, and take photos.
Yeah.
And Nina, this will also be up in for people who are in the roundtable. It will be on a list. So if they miss this, they'll have the information in the list as well. They'll be able to get in touch with you.
Thank you.
So
that's wonderful.
Okay, so we're going to wrap up. Now, for those of you who are not in the roundtable, don't have access to the list, I'll bring Nina's information back up in just a moment. But if you would like to find out more about the roundtable, if you are a woman who has done your proof of concept, you're cash flowing a few $1,000s a month, but you really want to get to a point where you can step on the gas and really go, but you don't have the infrastructure to be able to do that yet, then let's talk. You can go to the website, yourentitysolution.com/yes-roundtable. Take a look at what we have to offer. You can text me at that number on the screen, 702-462-4616, and let's have a conversation and see whether or not this program is right for you. So Nina, I'm going to bring back up your information in case people didn't have a chance to scribble it down and they're not on the roundtable, and give them a minute to do that. And do you have any last words of wisdom while we're doing this?
Oh, yes, I do. I feel like we're in a world where there's so much uncertainty, and the way to create certainty is to connect with people, because opportunities come from people. And when you connect with other people, things flourish, new things, ideas, and opportunities can show up. So that's my advice. It's time to connect to thrive so that you can really leverage and leapfrog your business to success when you connect with people and build relationships.
Actually, excellent words of wisdom. Nina, I've traveled over a good part of the world when I was in corporate America. And the thing that I found that was really surprising is that there are so many similarities. Yes, we look different. We speak different languages. We have different cultures, but there are so many similarities in what we want out of life, what we're hoping for, and how we want to connect with other people. That what you're saying is absolutely spot on. Building relationships is important. We shouldn't be afraid to do that. So we should walk into every room with our hands outstretched to meet the world.
Yeah, exactly. I love it.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being my guest. I really appreciate it. And for all of you who are watching, reach out to Nina, find out what she has to offer, and see whether or not her programs are right for you. Take care, everyone.
Bye for now.